The gods clash, but a new power is born.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Son of Saint Seiya Sasha and Hades movie. Before we start, please go support Dragon180 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. How would you feel knowing that your life was just a lie? Find out with Issei. Clarifications. 1. In this story, Sasha will be Tetma's sister. 2. Issei will be the son of Hades and Sasha, therefore he will be a god. 3. Issei will be betrayed by the occult club and by his adoptive family. 4. Issei will have a sister named Isami who will possess magic. 5. This story takes place after Asia's rescue. Since then, Issei has been training. In one of his training sessions, he discovers the balance breaker. Prologue. 243 years ago, long before the three factions, and even the birth of the dragon gods, the Great Red, Ophis and the Trixa, a fierce battle was fought between the king of the underworld Hades and the goddess of war Athena, which took place over so many centuries. The war would unfold as in the canon, with Alone's release and the sacrifice of the three friends. What they didn't know was that Hades had fallen in love with the reincarnation of Athena from that era, who was Sasha. Hades would take Sasha's soul and body to his chambers where her original body rests, the Elysian Fields. Sasha would begin to wake up, and the first thing she would notice would be a beautiful place. I see you've finally woken up. Sasha would turn around and observe that it was the god Hades, at which point she would quickly become on guard for any possible attack from the god. Hades, don't worry, I won't hurt you. Sasha, I don't believe you, and besides, where are we? Hades would remain silent for a couple of seconds but would answer. Hades, you don't have to be so aggressive, and to answer your question, we are in my resting place during the time of the myth, the Elysian Fields. Sasha, I see, and tell me exactly what I'm doing here. Wasn't I supposed to die along with my brother and my best friend? Hades, indeed you died, but I managed to save you and brought you here. Sasha, but why did you save me? Aren't you supposed to be the god of death? Hades, you're right, but since I met you I felt like I had to protect you. It's something that had never happened to me before. Sasha, I don't understand what you mean. Hades, what I mean is that I must protect you, and besides, I want to be with you. I don't even know why I'm saying this. Sasha would blush at the god's words but quickly hide it and say, Sasha, I think I know what's wrong with you. Hades, if you know, tell me. Sasha, it's something you hate. Hades, and that would be it. Sasha, what I mean is that you're in love. Hades, what do you mean by in love? Sasha, to help you understand better, you are experiencing the feeling of love. Hades, and how do I get rid of love? Sasha, that can't be taken away. Hades, so what should I do? Sasha, what you need to do is find your soulmate. Hades, and how do I do that? Sasha, you won't need to look for her because you've already found her. Hades, tell me which one it is. Sasha, you silly goose, she's right in front of you. Hades, so you're my soulmate. Sasha, yes, my dear Hades. Time skip 2 years later. During those 2 years, Sasha and Hades had already married and had their first child. Sasha, it's beautiful, don't you think, my love? Hades, yes, my dear. Sasha, and what will our beloved son be called? Hades, let's see what your name will be. It must be a nice name for the prince of the underworld. Sasha, what do you think of Issei? Hades, Issei is a good name, I like it. Hades, but there's also something that worries me. Sasha, what a thing, love worried. Hades, if my other brothers find out I had a son, they'll surely try to kill him. Sasha, and what can we do? Sad to know that she has to say goodbye to her son. It had been some time since Issei was born, but the two knew that this peace would not last forever, so they made the most difficult decision, which was to separate from their son. So they sent him to the human world where they gave him to a newlywed couple, the Hyoudou. 17 years later. In a small 2-story house, we can see a lady calling her son. Am I? Issei, get up or you'll be late for the academy. Issei, I'm already up, Mom, I'm just getting changed, I'll be right down. Am I? You better come down quickly if you want to deal with me. Issei, I'm coming down. 5 minutes later. Issei, thanks for the breakfast, it was delicious. Pi, anyway, get out of here, you're going to be late. Am I? Hurry up, I don't want any complaints to your teachers, understood? Issei, yes, Mom, streets of Kuoh. Issei, I don't understand why my parents treat me badly. It's like I don't matter to them. They only treat their younger sister with affection, and it hasn't always been the same for me. That's right, I should hurry or I'll be late. 1 hour later. Being able to observe our favorite brunette in his bored classroom. Matsuda, Issei, what do you think about us spying on the girls? I've found an excellent place. Matajama, since you joined that silly occult club, it's not the same anymore, it's like you've been changed. Issei, I'd like to go, but I can't. If Rias finds out, she'll punish me, and I don't want to. Remembering how she and her entourage punished him, Issei's memory. Rias, how is this possible, Issei? This is the last time you make me look bad. I always get complaints about you and your 2 friends. It's always the same, you spy on the kendo girls. I'm fed up. Issei, but Baochu couldn't finish because Rias slapped him. Rias, shut up. Kiba, yes, Madam President. Rias, tie him up behind the club and you'll receive a punishment you'll never forget. A while later. Issei is seen screaming in pain from the punishment. Akeno, that's what you get for spying on girls, you pervert. She said this while electrocuting him with her lightning. Rias, Issei, yes, Madam President. Rias, call your parents and tell them you're coming home late with your stupid brother. Issei, yes, Madam President. Rias, that will teach you not to make me look bad. A while later, Issei is seen with injuries all over his body and 3 girls are seen approaching him. How awful, how could Rias do that to Sunita? I don't recognize her. Madam President, it would be best if we took him to get him treated. Yes, you're right, end of memory. Issei, since that day the student council members have helped me heal my wounds, and even Sona's sister, the student council president, told me to leave Rias' entourage and join Sona's. The day passed normally for our favorite chestnut, Issei's house. Am I? Wow, for the first time I'm impressed with your grades, Issei, but still, why can't you be like your sister Issei? Pai, that's right dear, come here daughter. Issei, yes, tell me dad. Pai, congratulations daughter, your grades are always the best, keep it up. Am I? Yes daughter, you make me proud. Upon hearing those words, Issei went up to his room without them noticing. Issei, because my parents don't value what I do, they always compare me to my sister. Drake, relax mate, they don't know how to appreciate what they have. Issei, I think so, and tell me Drake, did you find a way to extract the pieces without him dying? Drake, not yet, but don't get discouraged. Issei, thank you for your words. Drake, tell me why at that moment you decided to join the menstrual hair. Issei, the truth is it was thanks to my sister since she forced me with her magic. Drake, ah, I see. I suppose she sensed my power or something. Issei, in fact, it was Rias who sensed your power that day she came here to drop off my sister. Drake, you're right, it was all because of her and your sister with that magic, but to be honest, that magic isn't as strong compared to us and without her your sister would be nothing. Issei, you're right friend, the good thing is that they don't know I'm the Sekiryuutei Drake, rest until tomorrow. Drake, I say the same if you don't want your mother to scold you. End of chapter. Chapter 1, Betrayal and a Revelation. The next day, our favorite protagonist is seen entering the academy. Issei, another day, I hope nothing happens elsewhere. 2 figures observing a chestnut tree. Do you think it's time to go for our son? I can't stand seeing my little one suffer anymore. I know Sasha, believe me, it hurts me too, but I think those demons are going to plot something with our son, so Pandora. Pandora, yes, tell me my lord Hades. Hades, I've already told you to just call me Hades, besides you're already part of my family. Pandora, yes, I'm sorry, but tell me what you need. Hades, I need you to go to the human world and watch over my son. I feel that something is going to happen to him. Pandora, something happened to my dear nephew. Hades, no, but I feel like something is going to happen to him. Pandora, yes, right away, back with Issei. Issei, I have a bad feeling, Drake, I have a feeling too, stay alert. Issei, yes, very good, let's go into the club. Upon opening the door, it is noticeable that it is completely dark. Issei, it seems there's no one here. Out of nowhere, Kiba appears and plunges a sword into his stomach, and from the other side, Kaneko appears and delivers a blow that forces him to his knees. The light turns on, revealing his other companions and his parents. Issei, President, what is this? Rias, isn't it obvious I get rid of the trash? Issei, but why? What have I done? Akeno, oh dear, you know you're no longer useful to us, and that's why we have to say goodbye. Issei, Issei, you too, you who are my sister. Issei, I'm sorry little brother, but the president is right and don't bother asking mom and dad for help. They agree too and besides hits him, they already know all about the supernatural and even that you and I are demons. Pai, besides, you were never our son. Issei, how can you say that? Am I? You're right, you were never our son, the only daughter we've ever had is Issei. We only found you and adopted you out of pity. Issei, that's not true. Rias, pathetic and even adopted, what a shame about you, but oh well, Kiba Kamiko, hold it while I extract the pawn pieces. Kai/Ko, yes, President. Suddenly, 8 magic circles began to form on Issei's body, from which pawn pieces emerged, leaving gaps from which a lot of blood flowed. Rias, guys, get rid of that thing, it's about to die. Kai/Ko, yes, President, they form a magic circle and disappear. Kuoh Forest. A magic circle is observed to form. Kiba, I hope you die. They leave an unconscious Issei on the ground and leave just as they came. Drake, I told you not to let your guard down. Issei, yes, I'm sorry. Drake, be careful, someone is approaching. Issei, could it be someone from the club who's come to finish me off? Drake, I don't know. From the trees emerges a woman with purple hair, skin as white as snow, of excellent appearance and wearing a black dress. Issei, who are you? Have you come to kill me? No, on the contrary. Issei, I bet you he couldn't finish because he fell unconscious. A couple of hours later. A chestnut tree is seen waking up. Issei, where am I? Drake, are you still with me? Drake, yes mate, I just woke up too. Issei, you know where we are and what happened. Drake, not after you fainted, that woman brought us to a place and from there I don't know why I also fainted. Well, you're finally awake. Issei, who are you and where am I? Where are my manners? My name is Hades. And your other question, are you in the Elysian Fields your home? Issei, I've heard of the Elysian Fields. Wait, I'm dying because as far as I know, only kind-hearted people usually come here. Besides, how is this my home? Hades, no, you're not dead. Come follow me. There's someone who wants to see you and I'll tell you everything you want to know. As they walked, Issei and Drake were talking. Drake, buddy, be careful, don't let your guard down, remember what happened to you a couple of hours ago. Issei, yes Drake, I'll keep that in mind, but changing the subject, do you think we should trust him? Drake, I don't know, since I said his name was I think I know him. Issei, I think it was Hades or something like that. Drake, you said Hades scared. Issei, yes, because you know him with doubt. Drake, if the god of the underworld is an idiot, he is the cruelest of all the gods. Issei, what? He's a god. Drake, calm down and for the love of God don't make him angry, we still don't know what we're doing here. Issei, that's fine, and if he tries anything there will be no other option but to fight. Hades, we've arrived. Issei, Hades, let me introduce you to them. He couldn't finish because one of them stepped forward towards Issei. Sasha was the one who lunged towards Issei and began to cry. My child, sniff sniff sniff, it's been a long time, you don't know how much I've missed you. Issei, what's going on here, he said with a lot of doubt. Hades, the thing is she and I are your real parents, he said it casually, paying no attention to the poor boy's reaction. Issei, what do you? A while later, Hades, calm down son. Issei, yes I'm sorry, he said apologetically, but now tell me, what are my parents? Hades tells him everything about how he and his mother met and the reason why they left him with the Hyoudou family. Issei, I understand now. Hades, find out if you're upset with us for leaving you with a family that didn't give you the love you deserve. Issei, I'm not upset with you, on the contrary, I'm happy to know that my parents always loved me, and he bursts into tears. Sasha approaches and hugs him maternally. Sasha, don't worry my child, we're here, so vent all you want, she said with a sweet smile. Issei, thank you, sniff 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 mom, I couldn't be happier. A while later, tears. Issei, mother, father, I have to introduce you to my friend and partner. He is a dragon that is sealed inside my body. A green gem forms on Issei's arm and it begins to speak. Drake, it's a pleasure to meet you all, especially you, Mr. Hades, he said fearfully. Hades, hahaha, relax, I won't hurt you, I'm just thanking you for taking care of my son. Drake, haha, you're welcome. He's my partner and the only one who has never seen me as a weapon. So our prince has returned. This was said by a man with white hair. Be careful with your words, brother. Haha, I didn't propose it, I said it happily. Issei, dad, who are they? Forgive my manners, young prince, my name is Hypnos. And I am Thanatos. Hades' son, they are both my advisors and my loyal comrades, along with my right-hand woman, Pandora. Issei, Pandora, who is she? He said hesitantly. Hades, she's the woman who brought you here and she's like my little sister, hee. Issei, I have a question, what are those things that come out of his shoulders curiously? Hades, that's all our armor is for. And the three of them take off their robes, revealing their armor. Issei, what is that armor? He said with more curiosity. So Hades tells him everything about how the armors were created, their levels, etc. Issei, incredible, I never thought other armors existed. Hades, other armors, he said it hesitantly. Issei, if I can create my own armor then Drake, fine. Drake, of course mate. Issei, breaks the balance. Drake, Wells dragon balance breaker. In Issei, a red armor is formed. Hades, impressive, I've decided, I will train you so that you can awaken your godly powers. Issei, alright, I'm tired of so much information, I'm going to sleep. Sasha, yes son, I'll accompany you to your room. Hades, yes son, rest. I will stay and converse with Hypnos and Thanatos. Issei and Sasha left, leaving the three of them to talk in peace. Issei, and tell me mom, is it true that my father is the god of the underworld and one of the cruelest? Doubtful. Sasha, well son, yes he is the god of the underworld, but don't worry, he is no longer the cruelest. Issei, heck, it's not as cruel as it used to be. Sasha, hehe, you see I changed it and for the better. Sasha, well we're here. Issei, incredible place, I'm very impressed. They enter a kind of mansion. Sasha, come follow me, I'll take you to your room. Issei simply nods his head and follows her. Issei's room. Drake, amazing partner, I never thought your parents were gods. Issei, I still can't believe it myself. Drake, I don't want to imagine the look on Albion's face when they find out that my partner is almost a god. Issei, speaking of rivals, do you know what the wielder of Albion will be like? Drake, the only thing I could find out is that he's with the fallen angels. Issei, anyway, tomorrow is going to be a long day in addition to my training. Drake, you're right, rest mate. Issei, likewise friend. End of chapter. Chapter 2, Training. In another, a person is observed. So my brother had a son, how interesting. We'll meet very soon, dear nephew. 2. And tell me, Lord Poseidon, what do you plan to do with the brat? Poseidon, nothing as long as it doesn't cause problems. After all, I also had 2 children and even Zeus had his. 2. Oh, I see, and tell me what you mean by causing problems. Poseidon, Estella, about 15 years ago my son Percy Jackson discovered that he was my son. And at that time there was a demigod who was the son of Hermes who stole my brother's lightning bolt and he thought my son was the thief. And because of that misunderstanding a war almost broke out, but in the end we managed to calm things down. Estella, well I never imagined that would happen, and tell me why Hermes-sama's son did that. Poseidon, for control of Olympus. Estella, I understand now, and tell me what happened to the son. Poseidon, you don't have to worry, my brother Zeus took care of him. Back with Issei. Issei, aha, I slept so well. Drake, of course you no longer have to put up with the shouting of that woman who made you get up early. Issei, you're right, hehe. Okay, I'll go see what my parents are doing. Drake, and tell me what you'll do with the traitors. Serious tone. Issei, nothing to tell the truth, I appreciate it. Drake, what do you mean? Issei, it's simple, my dear friend. If they hadn't betrayed me, I would never have met my real parents. Drake, you're right, buddy. Anyway, see you later, I'm going back to sleep. 5 minutes later. Sasha, good morning, son, how are you this morning? Hades, good morning, ready for your training. Issei, good morning, mother, father. Yes, I rested perfectly and I am ready to train. Sasha, I'm glad to hear it. Come sit down and have breakfast with us. After breakfast with the family. Issei, and tell me, father, where will we deliver it? Hades, in a dimension where time passes faster and we will deliver for 120 years. Issei, what? Scared by then I'll be old or dead? Hades, don't worry, you don't age. The only thing that will change is your power, and in real life only a few months will pass. Issei, if that's the case, the sooner we get in the better. Hades, so you're excited. Issei, how could I not be if I'm going to train to become strong so I can protect my loved ones? Hades, I understand, if that's the case we have to leave. Sasha, take care, my loves. Hades, Issei, yes, we will. Hades will open a kind of breach through which the two of them can enter. Within the gap. Issei, wow, what an amazing place. Amazed, Hades, that's what I said the first time I came in. Issei, and tell me, father, how will we train? He said it doubtfully. Hades, we will train you for the first 40 years in the best of hand-to-hand combat. In the next 40 I will teach you to control your divine power, and in the final 40 to strengthen your knowledge. Issei, I'd rather ask. He said it fearfully. I feel like I'm going to live through a real hell. Hades, don't think that just because you're my son you'll receive special treatment, and if this is going to be hell for you, it's not for nothing that I'm the god of the underworld, he said with a malicious smile. Issei, mommy. He said, very scared with Sasha. Sasha, why do I feel like someone's calling me? HMPH must be my imagination. And so began Issei's torture. First 40 years. In these first 40 years, Issei learned various hand-to-hand combat styles, as well as how to fight with a sword, and even with the booster gear he managed to learn how to access the Jungnrsut drive without wasting his lifespan. Second 40 years. In this stage of his training, Issei learned how to control his cosmos. Although at first it was quite difficult for him, but in the end he succeeded and even matched it almost to the level of his father, and he also managed to master the Jungnmount drive completely, but even so he was no match for his father. Third and final 40 years of training. Here, Hades focused more on teaching him all about Greek culture, including how the holy war against Athena began, as well as some other knowledge. He even learned that the biblical god had died along with the original Maus, and how his rivalry with the White Dragon Emperor began. 5 months had already passed in the human world. In recent months, things have worsened for the Gremory group because they found out about the arranged marriage with the Phoenix House. Isami narrates. Just imagine her in the Kuoh Academy uniform. It's been 5 months since we said goodbye to my dear brother. You can't imagine how much I regret not helping him that day. I should have helped him, he didn't possess any magic or anything like that. Now I realize that dragging him into the supernatural world was a huge mistake, and even my parents regret saying he was adopted. Even President Rias regretted it, and without realizing it she was showing him affection, though I think she fell in love with him. But it's a shame for her since now she's married to someone named Razor Phoenix. End of narration. Back to our protagonist. Hades, congratulations son, you managed to survive these 120 years. I couldn't be more proud of you. Issei, you're welcome, although at first I thought I was going to die. Hades, stop complaining and how about we get out of here? Your mother must be worried. Issei, I agree. Hades will open the same breach and they will leave that place. When Issei left, he unconsciously had a heightened aura which alerted all the factions. In the underworld. Grayfia Sirzechs felt that immense power scared. Sirzechs, if Grayfia has that power I hope she's not an enemy, in Gregory. Issei, whose will this tremendous power be? Volley, Issei, do you think I can defeat him? Issei, if I were you I'd rather not face him, in the sky. Brother, did you feel that immense power? Scared. Michael, yes, Gabriel, and I hope that whoever it is isn't an enemy. Back with Issei, hi mom, we're out now, he said happily, giving her a hug. Sasha, I'm glad, and tell me how it went. Hades, excellent, I've already found my successor. Issei, successor, don't tell me you're thinking of retiring as the god of the underworld. Hades, yes, because during the time I spent with you and your mother, I realized that I want to live a quiet life. Issei, that means I'm going to command the 108 specters, and he couldn't continue because he was interrupted by Hades. Hades, exactly, and don't worry, I'll help you with that. Sasha, don't you think you're exaggerating, love? Hades, I don't think so, darling. Issei, if there's no other way. Sasha, oh, by the way, you'll be returning to the academy tomorrow. I don't want my son to miss out on studying. Issei, okay, I knew I'd have to face them sooner or later, but anyway, I'm going to rest with your permission. Hades, Sasha, go, you deserve it, son. A while later, Issei's room. Issei, what do you think they'll say when they see me again, Drake? Drake, I have no idea, friend, but that doesn't matter. Tell me how you feel knowing you're the new ruler of the entire underworld. Issei, I don't really know what to say, it's all new to me. Anyway, get some rest, tomorrow will be a long day. Drake, I agree, my friend. The next day. Issei, good day, father, mother. Hades, Sasha, good morning, son. Sasha, come sit down and have breakfast. Issei, yes, mother. Hades, and tell me, son, how do you feel about returning to the academy? Issei, a nervous peak, by the way. How am I going to get to Kuoh if I don't know how to make magic circles? Hades, don't worry about that, just eat in the meantime. 20 minutes later. Hades, alright son, I'll show you how to open an entrance from anywhere to here. Hades will open a kind of dimension. Issei, wow, what a dimension, father. Hades, I will soon show you the path of the gods. Enter and think where you wish to appear. Issei, path of the gods with doubt. Hades, I'll explain later, come in, you're going to be late. Issei enters and thinks of an alley in the city that was near the academy. In a matter of seconds he appears in that place. Issei, incredible, I must learn how to teleport like that. A while later. Issei's room, Professor, boys, today we will have a student rejoining academic activities. You may come in, students murmured, wondering who it could be. At that moment a chestnut tree familiar to everyone enters. Issei, hello again everyone. Professor, since I see you already know each other, please take a seat, young Hyoudou. Issei-sensei, you're wrong, my last name is no longer Hyoudou. Professor, but I have Hyoudou here. Okay, young man, and what's your last name? Issei, he is a sacristan. Professor, very good, young sacristan, thoughts of a certain nun. Asia, I must tell this to the president and Issei. Classes proceeded normally until recess. When recess began, a certain nun ran out. Issei's thoughts. Issei, he'll probably go with the Gremory, don't you think, Drake? Drake, it's the safest thing to do, and what do you plan to do? Issei, nothing, as long as you don't bother me will be fine. Drake, that's going to make it impossible. Issei, you're right, buddy. In the occult club. Rias is seen sitting in her chair looking at some documents, when suddenly, the door is abruptly opened by Asia. Rias, what's wrong, Asia? Why are you coming in like that? Asia, Rias, I have news and I think you'll like it. Rias, tell me, it must be good because of the way you came in. Asia, it's about Issei, but before she could continue she was interrupted by Issei. Issei, tell us, Asia, what happened to Issei? Did you find him? Asia, if he arrives at the academy today. Rias, what? You're not lying. End of chapter. Chapter 3, The Reunion. It's been a week since Issei returned to the academy, and throughout this week the Gremory group has tried everything to get Issei to go to their club. Issei, I'm fed up with them always looking for me. Drake, and tell me what you plan to do about this situation. Hades, what are you two talking about, and more importantly, what's bothering you so much? Issei, the thing is, ever since I returned to the academy, people from my old club have been looking for me and I don't know what to do. Hades, I see, so those demons are the problem, aren't they, son? Issei, Sai, if it's them, I don't know what to do. At that moment Sasha enters with a tray with 3 cups of tea. Sasha, what's wrong with you guys? She said hesitantly. Issei, nothing, mother, they're just school problems. Sasha, and those school problems aren't the demons found at your academy, are they? Hades, yes, that's right, darling. Sasha, and I suppose you don't know what to do. Issei, you're right, mother, I don't know what to do. Sasha, and why don't you go and see what they want? Issei, I would go to see them, but the moment I see one of their members, I feel like going to their club and destroying them completely. Hades, I support your opinion, but that's not the way to solve things. Sasha, your father is right, and go, son, and see what they want. Maybe that way you'll feel more at ease. Issei, you're both right, thanks for your advice. I'll sort things out with them tomorrow once and for all. Hades, you're welcome, son, that's what parents are for. Issei, well, with your permission, I'll take my leave. I'm tired. Sasha, go, son, and rest. Issei's room. Drake, you see, I told you, don't make such a big deal out of that matter. See you tomorrow, mate. Issei, you're right, you should rest too. The next day. Issei was entering his classroom. Issei, I don't know why, but I feel like this day is going to be very long. Classes proceeded normally until break time. Issei was under a tree eating the food his mother had prepared for him. Issei, without a doubt, my mother's cooking is much tastier than that lady's, but their rest was interrupted by a certain nun. Asia, Issei, can you accompany me to the club? Issei, okay, and so the two of them headed to that place. Upon arriving at the Asia Club, they knocked on the door and had to wait until they heard a voice from the other side. Rias, pass. Asia, here is Issei just as you requested. Rias, thank you, Asia. Rias, well, Issei, do you know why I called you? Rias was going to continue speaking but was interrupted by Issei. Issei, no, and I don't care what you have to say, he said it in a tone of indifference. Issei, that's no way to talk to the president, little brother. Issei, first of all, I talk to you like this because I feel like it, and secondly, never call me brother again, got it, Hyoudou. Rias, how can you say that about your own family? Issei, I'm tired of this. If that's all they called me for, I'd better leave. Issei was about to open the door but was interrupted by Akeno. Rias, please, Issei, I know I hurt you, but please forgive me. She was interrupted again by Issei. Issei, I'm not interested in your apologies, much less those of the others. At that moment, Issei uses his magic to paralyze Issei. Issei, please, brother, forgive me. You don't know how much our parents and I miss you, he said, almost on the verge of tears. At that moment, Issei releases a bit of his cosmos and makes a sword appear. At that moment, everyone felt the immense power emanating from the sword. Issei points his sword at Isami's neck. Issei, if you say again that those people are my parents and that you are my sister, I will kill you without any mercy, he said it in a tone that would frighten even the bravest. Isami, frightened by such power, could only nod her head. Issei, very well, if that's all you had to say, I'll leave. Buddy, don't you think you're exaggerating by unleashing your power? Issei, I don't think so. Drake, Rias, what? Don't tell me she was interrupted by Drake. Drake, that's right, Gremory, he's my partner. Issei, yes, I am the Sekiryuutei. Rias, I demand that you return to me, you are my pawn. Issei, ahahahahaha, your pawn, what a great joke. Rias, what are you laughing at? Issei, in case you don't remember, you kicked me out of your clan. Rias, I'm not interested in that, I demand it of you as your mistress. Issei, listen to me carefully, I am nobody's pawn. At that moment, Issei leaves the occult club. At that moment, Rias regretted having discarded him and having treated him so badly. Issei, can you imagine, my friend, me being her pawn? Drake, in the beginning you were his pawn. Issei, you said it, he was and didn't know how to value what he had. Drake, you're right, it's the same as ex-family. Issei, you're right, but well, see you later, buddy, classes are about to start. Drake, see you later, friend, classes proceeded normally. Issei, how boring, staring at the clock, just finish up already, I ring the doorbell. Teacher, okay guys, this is the end of the class, you can leave. At that moment, all the students left the classroom like a bat out of hell. Occult club. Rias, I'm such a fool, how could I let go of the Sekiryuutei and also the only person who made me fall in love? Akeno, I know that too. Isami, brother, Kaneko, senpai, Kiba, dude, and what was that sword anyway? Rias, you're right, Kiba, that sword wasn't normal. Kaneko, that aura conveyed danger elsewhere. Are you sure you lived here when you were little? 2, yes, look. Showing her a photo where she appeared with 2 other girls. 2, if you say so, Irina. Irina, yes, Zenovia, I hope to see you again, Issei, and ask for your forgiveness and maybe win your love. The same fight between Kiba and Fried will take place here. Isami, I'm here, mother, father, but upon arriving he would feel a chill run through his entire body. Am I? Oh, that's good, daughter. Come here, daughter, someone came to see you. Isami went with her mother. Irina, it's been so long, my friend, how have you been? Isami, that voice is you, Irina. Irina, yes, who else, and where is Issei-kun? At that moment the whole family tensed up. Isami, he stayed around there with his friends, he said it lying and nervously. Irina, that's too bad. Isami, changing the subject, who is your companion? Excuse my manners, my name is Zenovia Quarta. Isami, nice to meet you, Zenovia. Zenovia, I agree. Irina, well, it was a pleasure to see you all again, but we have to leave. Am I? Take care of yourself too. Irina, say hi to Issei for me. Isami, okay, Irina. At that moment, Irina and Zenovia leave the house. Pi, daughter, why did you tell that lie? We don't know where Issei could be. Isami, in fact, he has been in the academy. Am I? Really? Tell me how he's been and why you didn't bring my child. Isami, the truth is, he already loves us, he said it sadly. Am I? Don't worry, daughter, we'll get him back and we'll be a family again. End of chapter. Chapter 4, The Exorcists and the Return of a Love. Underworld Elysian Fields. In our favorite chestnut-haired boy's room, he was having a rather strange dream. Issei wakes up suddenly. Issei, but what was that dream? Why did I just dream about Yuma? Drake, what's up, mate? Issei, it's nothing, I just had a bad dream. Drake, a nightmare, I suppose. Issei, yeah, it was a nightmare. Anyway, I need to hurry, I don't want to be late. Drake, you're right. A few minutes later. Sasha, why that face, son? Hades, your mother is right, what's happening? Issei, thanks for your concern, but it's nothing, I just had a nightmare. Sasha, well son, hurry up or you'll be late. Hades, you're right, my dear. Upon hearing that, Issei hurries and opens the path of the gods. Issei, see you this afternoon, mother, father. Sasha/Hades, take care, son. Issei appears in an alley in the city. Issei, well, let's go into the academy, but upon entering he noticed 2 hooded figures emanating a rather peculiar aura. Issei, so they are sent by the angel faction. Drake, that's right, mate. Issei, I wonder what they'll do here in demon territory. Classes had proceeded normally. Issei was in his favorite place eating food that had been prepared for him when suddenly a girl approached him. Tsubaki, Issei-kun, can you come with me to the student council? Dona wants to see you. Issei turns to look at her. Issei, Tsubaki-chan, of course I'll go with you. The 2 walked towards the student council. Sona, Issei-kun, I'm glad to see you. Where have you been these past 5 months? You had me worried. Issei, I'm sorry Sona-chan for worrying you. Sona, there's no reason to was interrupted because the council members entered along with 2 hooded figures. Tomo, Sona Kaichu, they are envoys from the church and want to speak with you. Iriana, the reason we have come is to inform you that some holy swords have been stolen by the fallen angels. Zenovia, that's why we want to ask you not to interfere. Sona, you have nothing to worry about, we won't do that so you can rest easy. Irina, okay, that's fine by me, we'll leave now to talk to the Gremory heiress. I never imagined you, Issei, were a demon. Issei, you're wrong, Shidu, I'm not a demon, he said that with some annoyance. Zenovia, anyway, we're withdrawing. Here, as in the story, the insult towards Asia and her fight took place, but instead of Issei, his sister fought. Underworld Elysian Fields. Issei, father, can I ask you a favor? Hades, tell me, son. Issei, it's true that all souls arrive here. Hades, yes, they all reach the underworld and are judged there. Why the question, son? Issei, the thing is, lately I've been having some dreams and I'd like to talk to the one who caused them. Hades, I see, and could you tell me who it is hesitantly? Issei, she was my first girlfriend who tried to kill me, but I could see in her eyes that she didn't want to hurt me. Hades, I understand, and you want to ask him the reason. Issei, yes, that's exactly what I want. Hades, okay, tell me her name. Issei, he is a fallen angel named Reinir Amano. Hades, I understand, wait here, I'll go and get your soul. Hades went to find the soul of his son's first girlfriend. Sasha, son, do you know where your father is going? And so Issei tells him everything he was talking about with his father. Sasha, I see. After that, Hades is seen arriving with a very beautiful girl. Issei was about to speak but was interrupted by the girl. Reinir, Issei, what are you doing here? Don't tell me you're dead too. Issei, Reinir, no, I'm not dead. Reinir, and then Issei tells him everything that has happened since his death. At that moment, Reinir wanted to go to where her former family and the occult club were to destroy them all. Issei, changing in a serious tone, well, what I want to know is why you played with me. Reinir, sniff, 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 I didn't mean to hurt you, I truly fell in love with you. Issei, and then why did you do it? Reinir, I just sniff, sniff, I was forced, I really didn't want to sniff, sniff. Issei, and who forced you? Reinir, it was Cockabeel, one of Grigory's cadres, who told me that if I did it, he would kill me. I'm sorry, she said the last part sadly. At that moment, Issei approaches her and hugs her. Issei, I'm sorry, I didn't know, forgive me, I should never have judged you and I even let you get killed. Reinir, it wasn't your fault, my dear Issei, and now that I have the opportunity to be with you, I won't waste it and I will do what I really wanted to do after our date. Issei, and that would be he couldn't finish because she approached him and kissed him. Issei, King was interrupted by the girl. Reinir, that was my first kiss, I hope you take responsibility. Issei, that was also my first kiss. Reinir, I'm glad to hear that. Issei, hey Reinir, do you want to be my girlfriend? Reinir, yes, yes, I want to be your girlfriend. Issei, you don't know how happy you make me. Reinir, no, you make me happy, for as long as I can remember I've always been alone. Issei, you will never be alone again because I will protect you. Sasha, oh, I never thought you were so romantic, son. Pandora, well, my little nephew already has a girlfriend. Yo. Issei, Aunt Mother make me feel ashamed. Sasha/Pandora, we're sorry and we'd like to introduce you to your girlfriend. Issei, if she is Amano Reinir. Sasha, it's a pleasure to meet my son's girlfriend. My name is Sasha. Pandora, I say the same, I am Pandora. Reinir, it's a pleasure to meet you. Sasha/Pandora, likewise. Hades, alright son, I've freed your girlfriend from her torment. Issei, thank you father. Reinir, I know who he is. Hades, where are my manners? Let me introduce myself. My name is Hades, the god of the underworld. Reinir, haha, Hades, the god of the underworld, scared. Issei, don't worry love, it won't hurt you. Reinir, if you say so darling, it's a pleasure to meet you, Hades-sama. Hades, don't worry, relax, you don't have to feel nervous, and from now on just call me father, okay, since you are part of the family. Sasha, okay, tell me mom. Reinir, okay, I hope you take care of my mother father. Sasha/Hades, will do it daughter. Hades, changing the subject, what did the demons want son? Issei, that's it. They just wanted to apologize and ask me to rejoin their peerage and that my former family was sorry. Hades, humans believe that with just a pardon they can solve everything, that's why he wanted to destroy them. Sasha, calm down love, there will always be bad people and good people. Hades, I know darling. Issei, well it's getting late. Come on love, I'll take you to your room. Sasha, I hope they don't do anything yet, they're still young, I don't want to have grandchildren. At that moment both Issei and Reinir blushed so deeply they looked like tomatoes. Issei, mom, Sasha, hehe, I was just kidding, get some rest. Issei, will do it mom, until tomorrow. End of chapter. Chapter 5, The Raven. The next morning, at Kuoh Academy, Issei and Reinir were entering under the gaze of everyone simply because the former member of the perverted trio was holding hands with the new student. Reinir, I feel weird, look how the others are watching us. Issei, don't worry my dear, Reinir, if you say so. And so under the gaze of everyone in the academy, the two would enter the classroom, although Reinir would wait for the teacher to give her permission to enter. Teacher, very well, quiet young people, today we will have a new student. In the boys' minds, they were begging Michael to be a girl, and the same was happening with the girls, only they were asking him to be a boy. Professor, very well, you can come in. At that moment, everyone saw a beautiful girl enter. It seems that the pleas to Mitchell had worked. Professor, very well, introduce yourself. Yuma, nice to meet you all, my name is Amano Yuma, I hope we get along well. Professor, any adventurer who wants to ask you something. Guy X, excuse me, do you have a boyfriend and want to go out with me? Yuma, yes I do have it and I'm sorry. Girl X, could you tell us her name? Yuma, his name is Issei Sacristan. At that moment, everyone turned to look at Issei, who was somewhat nervous. Yuma, if you have a problem with him being my boyfriend, just tell me with a smile that said say anything about my boyfriend and I'll kill you. Everyone felt a chill run down their spines when they saw that smile, and it was best not to say anything and remain silent, but a certain nun was surprised at how that girl was still alive if she had been killed a long time ago. Thoughts from Asia. Asia, I have to tell this to President Rias. End of thought. Classes proceeded normally until break time when Asia ran towards her club. Yuma, I saw the nun, she's sure to tell Gremory that I'm still alive and I'm afraid she'll do something to me. Scared. Issei, don't worry love, I will protect you, Le Gremory won't touch a hair on your head. Yuma, thank you darling, occult club. All the members were there, the doors opened revealing Asia with a face like she had seen a ghost. Rias, what's happening in Asia is like you've seen a ghost. Isami, if the president is right, Asia, that's what happened. Kaneko, what do you mean Issei? Asia tells them what happened in her classroom, how Rainier entered Kuoh Academy and now claims to be Issei's girlfriend. Upon hearing Asia's story, some people tensed up, especially Issei's ex-sister. Isami, how is it possible that that damn crazy woman is still alive, she said angrily. Rias, if that's the case, I'm going to kill her again, she's definitely manipulating my dear Issei. Akeno, you're right, President, that fallen angel wants to deceive Icegun again. Rias, Kiba, I want you to call Issei. Kiba, yes Madam President, I'll be right back. Back with Issei. Issei and Rainier were under a tree where Rainier was feeding Issei by hand. Rainier, let's see say ah love, Issei, ah. Rainier, and how did you like it? Issei, yes very much so, I didn't know you could cook so well love. Rainier, are you serious, you're embarrassing me. Issei, hehehehe. Rainier was going to continue feeding him but they were interrupted by a certain blonde boy whom Issei knew perfectly well. Kiba, Issei-kun, President Rias wants to see you. Issei, tell him I'm not interested. Kiba, if you don't come I'm authorized to use force. Issei, so that's how things will be. Rainier, and why does she want my Issei la Gremory? Kiba, that's none of your business, you filthy fallen angel. Issei, I won't allow that, prepare yourself, you dug your own grave, demon, he said it in a sepulchral voice that made Kiba scared. Kiba, I'm sorry. Issei, last words before dying. Issei was preparing to attack but was stopped by Rainier who was hugging him from behind. Rainier, don't worry, what they say doesn't affect me in the slightest. Issei, but the one who insulted you must pay. Rainier, don't worry, let's go see Gremory and find out what she wants. Issei, if you're lucky, if it weren't for my dear Rachin, you'd already be dead looking at Kiba. Kiba, I won't do it again. And so the three of them headed to Asia to the occult club. A while later, the club doors open, revealing the three of them. Issei, so why did you call me? Rias, the reason is so that you give me the fallen angel that is behind you. Issei, and why do they want my Kinchin? Akeno, what more could I do than kill her? Issei, and what makes them think I'm going to give them my girlfriend? Isami, it's for your own good, don't you see she's cheating on you like last time? Rainier, first of all, I'm not controlling him, not like you guys did, and I do love him. Rias, you're lying, you probably want to kill him just like you did with Isami. Issei, that's enough Gremory, if that's all you called me for, I'll leave. Let's go Kinchin. Rainier, yes, we're going. Issei, listen up demons, if you try anything against my Kinchin, you're dead. With that said, Issei and Rainier left the club, leaving the club members terrified by the frightening look Issei gave them. Things proceeded as in the original story until the confrontation against Cockabeel, who was giving them a tremendous beating since not even Isami's supposed magic could defeat him. Issei, they are weak indeed. Rainier, what did you expect? They're facing a cadre. Oh, what are we doing here? As far as I know, it's none of our business. Issei, you're right, but I can't let that madman kill Seraphal's sister. Rainier, the Mau Leviathan, and what about her? Issei, she helped me when those useless people over there pointing at the Gremory group. They were torturing me, she along with her sister and her entourage helped me. Rainier, oh, I understand, and you want to return the favor. Issei, partly yes, but it's also because they became important people to me. Rainier, okay, but if we're going to act, we have to do it now since that fool has already revealed the secret of the three factions. Issei, that fool, on the battlefield. Cockabeel, haha. Issei, I don't think so. Issei appears on the battlefield alongside Rainier. Cockabeel, and who are you, brat? I see you've come with that traitor Rainier. Issei, no one in particular except the one who will kill you. Cockabeel, ha 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 ha, you kill me. Issei, don't regret it later. Cockabeel, it was a pleasure to meet you. Cockabeel rises into the sky and creates a huge spear of light which he points towards everyone. He throws it and everyone closes their eyes, but after a few seconds feeling nothing, they open them and are surprised because in front of them was a strange armor. The armor falls to pieces and the pieces merge with Issei. Issei, Cockabeel, I hope you've written your will. Cockabeel, don't get so cocky, kid, just because a suit of armor saved you. Issei, you think so? They both lunged at each other, exchanging punches and kicks, but as the fight progressed, Cockabeel grew tired while Issei showed no signs of fatigue. Cockabeel, not a bad kid. Issei, I agree. Cockabeel, and tell me boy, what's your name? Issei, I am Issei Sacristan. They both resumed their fight, but this time Cockabeel couldn't even touch Issei because of his incredible speed, so much so that Cockabeel was getting frustrated and started launching senseless attacks, which Issei took advantage of to stab his sword into Cockabeel's chest. Cockabeel, Agony screamed from $1 in such unbearable pain that it seemed to be burning him. Issei, it's over. Cockabeel, what are you saying? Issei, don't you realize my sword isn't normal? Cockabeel, what do you mean? Issei, my sword has the ability that upon touching the opponent it grants a curse, which is that you will not be able to use any power and you will remain in this state of death. But before Cockabeel could say anything, the barrier covering the academy was destroyed. The reason was a strange subject in white armor appeared. I'm only here for Cockabeel and the Exorcist. Issei, go ahead and take them, they're already dead anyway. The strange subject approaches the bodies of Cockabeel and the Exorcist, picks them up and prepares to leave but is interrupted by Drake. Here the conversation between the two dragons takes place just like in the original story. Become strong so that our battle, Issei, I agree. The subject leaves just as he arrived. Rias, are you okay? Worried. Issei ignores her and heads towards where Rainier is. Issei, Kingchin, we can go now. Rainier, yes, and you were great, and she gives him a kiss. Isami approaches his brother but they disappear. Isami, even though you don't love me anymore, thank you, brother. End of chapter. Chapter 6, Family Gatherings and the beginning of the meeting. The next day at the academy, a silver-haired girl is seen at the entrance. So you're the Red Dragon Emperor. Issei, that's right, and you are. My name is Valerie, I possess the White Dragon. Rainier, and what do you want, Hakuryaku? Valerie, nothing, I just came to introduce myself to, was interrupted by two swords that were pointed at her. Zenobia, what is it you desire? And we will not allow a fight to break out between the two celestial dragons. Valerie, haha, what makes you think you can beat me if you couldn't beat someone as weak as Cockabeel? At that moment, Valerie approaches Issei and points a finger at his forehead. Valerie, how weak? Tell me what would happen if I used a little magic. Issei, I don't think anything will happen, and you wouldn't do it because there are a lot of people around and that wouldn't be in your best interest. Valerie, true, and tell me, what position do you think you hold among the strongest people? Issei, I don't know, and besides, I don't care. Valerie, you have incredible power, plus I suppose you've already awakened your balance breaker. I estimate a 4-digit number. I think you'll be in the 1000th position around there. Issei, if that's all, I think I'd better. Valerie, Hyoudou, Issei is an important person, don't you think so? Rias, Gremory, you should take better care of him. Issei turns around only to find Rias and her entourage. Issei, hahaha, good joke, she's taking care of me. Rias, what do you want, White Dragon? We don't want any more trouble with the fallen angels than we already have looking at Rainier. Valerie, anyway, I'm very busy and I have no intention of starting a fight, so I'll leave, Issei-kun. Issei, hahaha, whatever you say. Valerichin, that comment made Valerie blush slightly, but she quickly hid it and left. Isami, and she who wanted Issei. Issei, something they don't care about. How are we doing, Raichin? We're running late. Rainier, yes, we're going. The classes proceeded normally without anything new, except that the teachers told him that the family meetings would be in a week. Underworld Elysian Fields. Sasha, hi guys, how did it go at the academy? Issei, very well, mother. Hades, oh well, I'm glad. Rainier, except that today they told us that family meetings will be held at the academy in a week. Hades, and what about those family gatherings? I'm not sure. Issei, it is an event that occurs once a year in which parents go to observe the performance of their children. Sasha, sounds interesting, don't you think, love? Hades, that sounds interesting. Issei, don't tell me you're planning to go. Sasha, but of course we'll go, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Besides, I want to see my boy shine, don't you think, dear? Issei, mom. You're embarrassing me, I'm not a little kid. Hades, yes of course my dear. Sasha, well for me you're still my little son. Hades, and tell me how many people can attend this family gathering. Issei, the whole family, but they always all leave because they also have children in different classrooms. Hades, I see it's been a while since I left the underworld. It will be interesting to know how much humanity has evolved. Issei, yeah, I guess so. Well, I'll be going now, I have homework to do. Sasha, okay son. Issei and Rainier retire to their respective rooms to carry out their respective academy tasks. Rainier, family gatherings don't excite you, love. Issei, a little. Rainier, and why is that? Issei, the thing is my old parents never came to see me, they always went for my sister, that's why I don't know how to feel. Rainier, don't worry anymore, your parents will come and I'll be with you for everything. She comes closer and gives her a hug. Issei, thank you. The days passed normally for our protagonist until the day of the family meetings arrived where he felt nervous. Family Gathering Day. All of Issei's classmates are seen with their respective parents as they all enter the classroom. Issei, this is horrible, I don't know how to act when they arrive. Drake, don't worry friend, I'm with you and your girlfriend. Issei, thanks friend. Suddenly murmurs began to be heard from people such as, did you see that girl? How beautiful, how nice. I wonder if she has a girlfriend, things like that. The reason was that at the entrance of the hall 3 people were observed, to be exact 2 women and a man. Professor, excuse me, can I help you? Sasha, yes, I'm here to watch over my son. Professor, and what is it? Hades, Issei, Sacristan, Pandora, and I to observe Rainier Amano. Professor, if that's the case, you can come in, we were just about to begin. Teacher, very well young people, for this activity you will receive a clay mold and your task will be to draw the first thing that comes to mind, so begin. At that point everyone started, the only one who started was Issei. Saha, come on son, you can do it, she encouraged him. Issei, whatever comes to mind. Then he unconsciously began to move his hands and after a while he opened them to see what it was and what he saw surprised him. Professor, my young sacristan, I didn't know you had the talent of a sculptor. He said this with surprise. Issei, hehe, yeah, I only moved my hands a little. Student X, and who are they? He said, looking at the sculpture. Issei, they're my family. Rainier, it looks beautiful on you, love. Issei, thanks, yours too. After class, all the students were in the academy courtyard with their respective families, but there was one family in particular who were looking for their former son until they finally found him. They were about to approach, but they saw a girl approach them. Serafal, Aishin, it's so good to see you. Issei, Sarachin, what are you doing here? Serafal, just like everyone else, I came to the family gatherings. Oh, who are they? Pointing at Hades, Sasha, and Pandora. Issei, they are my true family. Serafal, I don't understand, I thought your family was the Hyoudou. Issei, no, they were never my family and they never will be, he said in an angry tone. This was overheard by the Hyoudou family, who were at a safe distance to listen, and what their former son said only caused their hearts to break. Serafal, I don't understand. Issei, it's a long story, how about I tell it to you another day? Serafal, okay, well, it was a pleasure meeting you all, I'll be going to find Sunita. Issei, okay, see you later, Sarachin. They too were preparing to leave when they heard another familiar voice for Issei. Isami, Issei, can we talk? Our parents want to see you. Am I? Yes, son, please come home. Pai, I'm really sorry for having said those things to you in the past. Issei, no, and I've told you many times that I'm never coming back. Besides, I already have a family. Pai, please, son, I promise to be a better father, was interrupted by Issei. Issei, and tell me that he's going to change the insults or that he was a better father than you in his entire life. Am I? Don't talk to your father like that. Sasha, how dare you say that man is the father of my son? Am I? And who do you think you are, interfering in other people's conversations? Hades, how dare you speak to my wife like that? Issei, you said it yourself, family conversation, and you are my family, so we'll leave. Isami, but brother. Issei, I already told you I'm not your brother and I never will be. Isami, but she was interrupted by Issei. Issei, if that was all, we'll withdraw. Before they could say anything, they had already left the place, leaving the family devastated because their ex-son no longer wanted them. The days passed and there were no changes except that instead of Issei trying to train Gasper, Isami did, and she was also given the step sword. Kuoh City. So he's the Red Emperor. Valerie, that's right, Offeyes, what do you think? Offeyes, besides being handsome, he exudes immense power. Valerie, you're right, Offeyes, anyway, I'm leaving. Valerie, so it all starts tonight, the three factions meeting to talk about such boring things. Issei Hyoudou, you're very handsome and interesting. End of chapter. Chapter 7, the meeting. Rias, Issei, it's good to find you, we need to talk. Issei, I already told you, you and I don't need to talk if that's all. Rias, not that, about what you thinking about the meeting of the factions. Issei, what faction meeting are you referring to? Rias, what's happening is that with Cockabill's attack, the three factions will hold a meeting here at the academy. Issei, and what does that have to do with me? Rias, the thing is you defeated him, so we need you to go. Issei, if there's no other way, that's fine, since what time is the meeting? Rias, it's at night and don't miss it. Issei, okay, Rainier, and what do you think, should we go? Issei, of course, I feel like something's going to happen. Rainier agreed. Kuoh Academy at nights. At the academy, a barrier was formed by all the factions. Asaisal, I think we're all doing very well. Rias, no, someone is still missing. Sirzechs, what do you mean, sister? Serafal, yes, who are you referring to? Rias, to Issei-kun, Michael, and what does young Issei have to do with this meeting? Rias, he was the one who defeated Cockabille. She shows what happened in the battle with Cockabille, in which Issei shone in battle and how he killed him with a single touch of his sword. It should be noted that those present were in total shock. Suddenly, a kind of dimensional rift opens in the room from which Issei and Rainier emerge. Issei, sorry for the delay. Michael, I assume we're all here, so why don't we get this meeting started? At that point, everyone present takes a seat. Here the meeting would be somewhat similar to the original, except that on certain occasions Valerie would stare at Issei and then look away. Asaisal, very well, but first I want to hear two opinions apart from ours. Sirzechs, what do you mean? Asaisal, I'm referring to the White and Red Emperor Dragon. So tell me, Valerie, what do you desire, peace or war? Valerie, I'm not interested in that, I only care that there are strong rivals. Asaisal, but there's no need for strong rivals, just look at Issei. Valerie, I already know that. Asaisal, very well, and tell me, boy, what is it you want? Issei, I choose peace. Asaisal, and there's your answer, Sirzechs. But before they could continue talking, time froze, and the only ones who weren't frozen were the faction leaders along with Valerie, Issei, Rias, and Isami, thanks to their magic. Asaisal, it seems they have it, and if its power continues to increase, it will affect us too. Issei, what do you mean? Rias to Gasper. Asaisal, he is a vampire who has the ability to freeze time. Issei, I understand now. Rias, brother, we can't let them hurt him. Sirzechs, okay, I'll prepare a magic circle so that you and one other person can go and rescue him. Isami, perfect, then I'll go with her. Sirzechs, agreed, I will entrust my sister to you. Isami, see Sirzechs sama. And so they created the magic circle which transported the aforementioned to where Gasper was. Here it would happen like the original story with the appearance of Kateria and the fight against Asaisal and his loss of his arm and Valerie's betrayal. Asaisal, so you like to play dirty, huh, Valerie? Valerie, I'm sorry, Asaisal, but I found another side that's more entertaining. Asaisal, very well, but first answer this question. Is it true what my vice president, Shem Hazard, told me about an organization called the Cows Brigade? Seraphal, but who would have enough power to gather so many rebels, she said in amazement. Asazel, I know, and the leader of that group is Offis, or am I mistaken, Valerie? Valerie, it's true that I joined Offis, but neither she nor I have any intention of starting a war. Asazel, I see. Valerie, my real name is Valerie Lucifer, daughter of the original demon and a human. Rias, impossible, Sirzechs, I see, so it was with a human woman, no wonder we didn't know anything. Asazel, Barry, daughter of the original Satan, you already possess the White Emperor Dragon, your existence is quite a cocktail. Valerie, if you search for the word miracle, you'll find my name next to it showing her demon wings. Michael, God, I'm afraid. Valerie, Hyoudou, don't you think our existence is sublime? You're just an ordinary human with an interesting power and the red dragon, and without them you'd be nothing. Issei, you're right, but I have some secrets too. Valerie, and that would be it. Issei, my true origin. Valerie, as far as I know, your parents aren't special, they're just human. Issei, you're right, but they aren't my real parents. Valerie, what are you trying to get at? Issei, they told me themselves when the Gremory clan kicked me out of their noble house that I was adopted, and that's where I discovered my true origins. Rias' group tensed up at those words, knowing that everything had already been said and that her brother surely wanted to know the truth. Valerie, what do you mean by doubt? Reni, you're going to say it, love. Issei, haha, my real parents are deities. Everyone deities. Issei, that's right, my father is the god of the underworld Hades and my mother is the ancient reincarnation of Athena Sasha Sacristan. Everyone, I am impossible. Valerie, that means that you're a demigod. Issei, something like that. Very soon I will be a god. More specifically, I will take my father's place. Asazel, that means you plan to defeat your father. Issei, no, he told me. Michael, this is truly amazing, a demigod wielding the red dragon. He must undoubtedly be the strongest wielder Drake has ever had. Drake, that's right, he's the strongest and his strength and power are almost on par with Hades-sama. Albion, this has to be a joke, right? Scared. Valerie, that doesn't matter, so fight me. Issei, as you wish. Come, armor. Then a suit of armor appears in front of Issei and he puts it on. Everyone, that power is abysmal, frightened. Issei, are you ready to experience the true power of the Prince of the Underworld? Thus the two would launch themselves at each other, but as the battle progressed, Valerie would not be able to touch Issei, who would evade them with such ease, thus demonstrating Issei's evident power. Valerie, stay still. Issei, if that's what you want. Valerie would launch herself at him with all her strength focused into her fist, but the moment she struck Issei, she would be surprised because Issei would stop her with ease with a single finger. Issei would then deliver a blow that would shatter her armor and simultaneously knock her unconscious. Issei, I think I'll pass. A while later, Valerie would wake up. Drake, you know what truth means. Issei, what do you mean? Drake, you just defeated a female dragon. Issei, and what does that mean? Drake, that you are now officially his part. Issei, what? If I had known that, I wouldn't have fought. Valerie, my Issei, come to me. She lunges at him. Issei, knew. Now Rachel is going to kill me. Out of nowhere, the barrier breaks and a person appears. Wow, Valerie, you really got a beating. Valerie, yes, I know, and shut up. What did you come here for, Biku? Biku, I've just been informed that the battle with the Nordic warriors has just begun and they need you. Valerie, I see you soon, darling. They both disappear through a magic circle created by Biku. Issei, anyway, I'm leaving too. Are you coming, Rachel? Rainier, yes, and they both leave through the same dimension they arrived in. End of chapter. Chapter 8, Summer Vacation. A week has passed since the meeting, and now everyone is gathered at the occult club. Rainier, why did you call us Azazel? Azazel, straight to the point. Issei, tell us once and for all or we're leaving. Azazel, well, the thing is there will be a meeting with the Nordic faction. Issei, and what does that have to do with me? Azazel, we also want to form an alliance with your father. Issei, okay, I'll see if my father agrees. Azazel, I'm counting on you, kid. Issei, but I'm not promising anything. Rainier, if that's all, we'll leave. They both leave the occult club and head to the underworld. Underworld Elysian Fields. Sasha, and tell me, son, what do you need us for? Hades, what is that so important? Issei, what's happening is that the faction leaders want to form an alliance. Hades, and what does that have to do with us? Issei, the leader of the Fallen, told me that they also want to form an alliance with you, father. Sasha, and I suppose they also want to do it with Olympus. Issei, I don't know, he just told me they wanted to do it with you, father. Hades, okay, I'll go see what the factions want and tell me when the meeting will take place. Issei, I think summer vacation starts this week, I guess. Plus, Rachel and I were invited to spend time in the underworld with the Gremory family. Sasha, and that would be for Rainier, I suppose they wanted to be to form bonds with the demons. Issei, I think it makes sense to me. The week passed quickly and now everyone was gathered at the occult club ready to leave, but two people were missing, Rainier and Issei. Rias, when do they expect to arrive? Akeno, Ara, could it be that the president is desperate to see her Issei-kun? Rias, that's not true, Akeno, she said, blushing slightly. Akeno, then I can keep it. Rias knew, but before they could continue fighting, the aforementioned individuals appeared. Isami, until they finally deigned to come. Issei, sorry for the delay, but we were doing some important things. Azazel, anyway, we're ready. And so they were all teleported to the underworld, but in reality they were on a train traveling. Issei, this is boring. Rainier, and what did you expect? We're on a train. Issei, I know, but I thought it would be exciting. I'd rather be watching minus judge the souls that come with him right now. Azazel, what do you mean, boy, by judging the soul with doubt? Issei, but don't you know about prisons? All prisons, Issei, but what if we go to the underworld? Rias, the underworld is like the human world, it has cities and all that. Issei, whoa, wait a minute, as far as I know the underworld doesn't have cities. Kaneko, it doesn't seem to have one. Issei, I'll explain it to you, the underworld is a place where only souls arrive, and from there they are judged and sent to their respective prisons where they will relive their worst torment over and over again for all eternity. Asia, what a horrible place, I'm scared. Rainier, it is true, I was in their prisons condemned for all eternity. Isami, oh yeah, now that I remember you must be dead. How are you still alive? Rainier, I did die, but thanks to Issei for forgiving me for my crimes I am alive. Kaneko, can Issei-senpai bring people back from the dead? Issei, no I can't do that, but my father can. Azazel, incredible to bring someone from life. Rias, I have a question. Issei, which Rias, you said that all souls are condemned. Issei, correct, Rias, but perhaps none are spared from suffering. Issei, to be honest, I think so. Akeno, what do you mean? Issei, there is a paradise in the underworld. Everyone, paradise. Issei, shut up and listen. Everyone, yes. Issei, as I was saying, there's a paradise in the underworld known as the Elysian Fields. It's a place where some souls arrive by my father's will and I also live there. That answers your question. Azazel, I didn't know of a place like this. Issei, I'll tell you something else. Kiba, who would be Issei-kun? Issei, pay attention and don't interrupt me. My mother was saved by my father because she was once the reincarnation of Athena. Azazel, explain yourself. Issei, a long time ago my father was at war with the goddess Athena for control of the earth. My father fought to plunge the earth into darkness and Athena fought to prevent that from happening. As I said, my mother was the previous Athena. She, along with her brother and friend, sacrificed themselves, but my father saved her because he had fallen in love with her. Rias, impressive. Azazel, wait a minute, you mentioned that Hades wants to plunge the earth into darkness. Issei, indeed he wanted that, but as I said, my father fell in love with the previous Athena and changed. Now he doesn't want that. Rias, what a relief, I was almost worried that our enemy was the god of the underworld. Here, as in the original story, the fight with Tannen, the hot springs, and the knowledge of Rias' parents would occur, up to where their respective training would take place, where since Issei was not very weak, he would not train with Tannen, and we are placed on the day of the meeting of the young demons. Michael, I think we're all here. Sirzechs, no, someone is still missing. Odin, who are you referring to, brat? Seraphal, if Sirzechs, who are you referring to? Sirzechs, to Hade-sama. At that moment, everyone tensed up upon hearing the name of the god of the underworld, knowing that a deity like him would be coming. Odin, and what do you want the god of the underworld for, brat? Issei, that's very easy to answer, Odin. Odin, and who are you, boy? Issei, oh pardon my manners, I am Sacristan Issei, the son of Hades. Odin, your joke isn't funny, girl. He's not joking, you old codger. At that moment, 3 male silhouettes appeared in front of Issei and knelt before him. 2. It's a pleasure to see you again, young prince. Sirzechs, who are you? 3. That's what we were getting to, Mao Lucifer. We are the 3 judges of the underworld. I am known as Iakos of Garuda. I am Minus of the Griffin. 2. Radamantes of Weber. I think that's how it was spelled. Issei, and what brings you guys here? Minus, we are the escorts of Hades-sama and Sasha-sama. Hades, how are you, son? Sasha, it's been a while, hasn't it, son? Issei, only a week has passed, mother. Sirzechs, it's a pleasure to have you here, Hades-sama. Hades, the pleasure is all mine. Michael, well, I think we're all here because we haven't started the meeting yet. Hades, I agree with the overlord of the sky. But before anyone could say anything else, a guest appeared in the room who didn't like the peace being made. That's Loki. Loki, I stand in the way of this absurd meeting. Odin, as I expected, now go back home and you won't be punished, Loki. Loki, ha 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 ha, I don't think so. Fenrir attacks. End of chapter. Chapter 9, the holidays are over. Minus, may I take care of this, Radamantes Iakos? Do whatever you want. Minus, in that case, come and let's play puppy. Fenrir was about to attack everyone present, but before he could even get close, Minus used his technique, the cosmic puppet. Loki, what's up? Minus, very simple, right now your pet is being controlled by me, or in other words, by simply pulling a few strings this would happen. Minus would move his hand slightly and everyone would see Fenrir's leg bend. Minus, what if I twist his head? Nobody said anything about the technique they witnessed. Issei, tell me, God Loki, or are you truly a god? Loki, be careful how you address me, insolent mortal. Hades, fed up with the situation, decided to act. Hades, look, whoever you are, I'll give you 2 options. The first is that you leave and we'll pretend nothing happened, and the second is that if you decide to stay, you die. Loki, ha 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 ha, an inferior being like you giving me orders, don't make me laugh. After those words, everyone had only one thought, he's an idiot. How could he say those words in front of the god of the underworld? He undoubtedly sealed his fate. At that moment, everyone present would feel a power that was incredibly profound. Hades, it's been a long time since I've had fun, I hope you'll be a worthy opponent. Upon sensing such tremendous power, Loki would only tremble with fear and could only utter a few words. Loki, who are you? Very scared. Hades, I am Hades, god of the underworld. Upon hearing this declaration, Loki could only regret not having chosen the first option, and now he would be killed by one of the most powerful gods he knew. Hades, your punishment for defying a god will be death, and you will spend your entire life in one of my prisons. Loki, please have mercy on me, I beg you. Hades, I gave you the opportunity and you squandered it. Hades creates a sphere of cosmos and throws it at Loki, which upon impact reduces him to nothing. Upon witnessing the god's cruelty, everyone made a mental note never to anger the god of the underworld. Hades, okay, although I was disappointed, I thought it was going to be a fight of gods, but it turned out to be someone very weak. Even one of my advisors puts up more of a fight. Sasha, don't you think you went too far, darling, with a sweet smile. At that moment, Hades turned around only to find his wife smiling at him, and he already knew that nothing good happened when his wife gave him that smile. At that moment, Hades felt true terror. After what happened with the former Norse god, everyone is seen gathered in a room, but if you notice, you can see an unconscious Hades to one side. Not even Hades himself can withstand the wrath of a woman. After the meeting, everyone would return to their respective factions. Underworld. In the Underworld, to be specific, the first prison, Loki's soul was found before a tribunal. Loon, so you're Loki. Loki, who are you and where am I? Loon, silence, you are in the court of silence, and here arrive the souls that were able to cross the river Acheron, and I am Loon, I am one of Minus soldiers, I am here as his replacement for today. In this place the souls of human beings are judged. Loki, I don't care about that, I just want to know what I'm doing here. Loon, insolent, and you still ask, but well, I'll tell you, you're here for the crimes you committed in life. Loki, I haven't committed any sin, so let me go. Loon, yes, of course that's not going to happen. This record shows so many crimes you've committed that I can't even name them all, but there's one in particular you committed recently, the crime of trying to confront a god. That's something everyone knows, but you ignored it, and that crime is punished with freezing. Therefore, you will be sent to the 8th prison, Cocytus. That's where the souls who defied the gods arrive. Loki is teleported to the Cocytus. Loon, this is boring. Ever since our Lord Hades married the previous Athena, everything has been peaceful. I just hope this peace lasts, but I don't know how the new Athena will react. Back with Issei. A day has passed since the peace meeting was held, but I don't know why, but I have a feeling that something is going to happen. Reinir, what's wrong, love? You seem worried. Issei, it's nothing, just a feeling. Drake, it's definitely your imagination. Reinir, Drake is right. Issei, maybe, but just in case, I'll be on alert. Elsewhere, one subject was approaching another. Sir, we found what you were looking for. It seems you are locked up. 2. Hahaha, perfect. If we release him, chaos will ensue and I will finally be able to rule this world. The next day. Nice to meet you, my name is Irina Hyoudou. All the men except for one chestnut-haired man began to shout with joy upon learning that a beautiful girl was in their classroom. Issei, that's all I needed, now what else could go wrong? Drake, don't say those words that might come true for you. Issei, yes of course. A while later. Issei and Reinir go to the occult club because of Azazel's call. Issei, so what did you call us for? Azazel, it is to announce the order of the Emsu Lucifer. Rias, that my brother sent an order. Issei, and what does that have to do with me annoying? Azazel, in fact this concerns you. Issei, what do you mean? Azazel, very well, the order is this. From today onwards all female members of the occult club will have to go and live with the current Red Emperor. Issei and Reinir opened their eyes wide at such a decision. Issei, I can't believe what I did to deserve this. Drake, I told you those words are magic. Issei, shut up, Drake, I hate when you're right. Azazel, that's all. Issei, I'm afraid to tell you that this request cannot be granted. Azazel, what do you mean? Issei, they cannot enter a sacred place like my home, the Elysian Fields. If they set foot there, they will be executed. Only those chosen by my father are able to touch sacred ground. Azazel, don't worry, kid, your father agrees with this too. Issei, what? Reinir, and tell us where we're supposedly going to. Azazel, don't worry about that, so come with me. Azazel created a magic circle which took them to the far part of the city and they appeared in front of one. Everyone was impressed because in front of them stood a mansion. Issei, this is one. Reinir, mansion, Issei, and who created all this? Azazel, don't worry, it's a gift from Sirzechs and Michael. Azazel, in addition, not only will members of the occult club be coming, but also members of the other factions that signed the peace agreement 2 days ago. Before anyone could say a word in front of them, a magic circle formed from which an albino and a black-haired girl emerged. Valerie, hello my beloved. Issei, hello Valrichin, what are you doing here? Valerie, isn't it obvious I came to live with my beloved? Everyone, what? Issei, okay, by the way, who is the girl accompanying you? Valerie, she is not a child, she is the goddess of infinity. Offis. Issei, what? But she looks like a girl. Offis, I'm not a child. Angry. Issei, okay, but what is she doing here? Valerie, the thing is she was interrupted by Offis. Offis, I can't live with my little dragon either. Everyone, what? Issei, this has already confused me, what do you mean? Offis, you are my partner. Issei, now I'm totally confused, someone explain this to me. Drake, I'll explain, you remember I told you that dragons find mates through fighting, right? Issei, yes, and what does that have to do with what's happening now? Drag, the other way a dragon gets a mate, is only if the female chooses that dragon as her mate. Issei, I understand now, so she chose me as her partner. Drag, indeed, congratulations my friend, you have won the heart of the goddess of infinity. Issei, I don't know whether to be happy or feel something else. Rainier, if there's no other option, why don't we go ahead? Everyone, yes. End of chapter. Chapter 10, Day Off. The next day our chestnut-tired friend was seen waking up thanks to the sun's rays which touched his face. Issei, ah, damn son, how I wish I could destroy you. Drag, good day colleague. Issei, hello Drag. Issei tried to get up but couldn't and he looked for the reason. When he lifted the sheets he found Rainier hugging him and on the other side Valerie doing the same thing and Offai snuggled up to his chest. Issei, but what? Rainier, good day love. Issei, good day darling. Valerie, ah, good morning Issei. Issei, good morning Valerie. Offais, good day my little dragon. Issei, good day Offais. Issei, before anything else I'd like to know what you two are doing in my room. Valerie, it's not obvious to sleep with my beloved. Offais, I agree. Issei, okay, shall we get up? Girls, okay. A while later the four of them were seen going down to the room where the others were, Isami, until they finally wake up. Issei, whatever. Rias, okay then, shall we go to the academy? Issei, you guys go ahead, besides, we haven't had breakfast yet, we'll catch up later. Rias, okay. They all leave for the academy. A while later, after breakfast, Rainier and Issei were about to go to school, but before they left, Pandora appeared. Pandora, hello nephew, how have you been? Issei, hello Aunt Pandora, how are you? Pandora, it's just to see how you've been in your new home. Issei, to be honest, I still haven't gotten used to it. Pandora, I see. Rainier, I'm sorry if I interrupt, but Issei, we're running late. Issei, you're right, I'm sorry auntie, but we're getting late, we'll talk later. Pandora, don't worry go, classes were proceeding as normal elsewhere. So Hades finally wishes to end the holy war. 2. That's right Layla-sama, that's what one of her specters told us. Layla, I don't know, maybe it's a trick and we'll end up losing this war, don't you think meh? Maybe, but I've also heard that Hades has a son with his previous reincarnation. Layla, with a son perhaps in this era will finally end the holy war. 3. And what does Layla-sama plan to do? Layla, I suppose I must have a meeting with Hades, don't you think Keisha, well she's right meh, I wonder what Hades' son will be like, I've heard he's a kind-hearted person. Keisha, you're right, besides it will be nice. Layla, hey, remember that he is still our enemy. KM, yes, Layla-sama, back with Issei. Issei, I don't know why I have a feeling it's going to happen. Rainier, what happens, love? Issei, nothing to worry about, darling. Rainier, okay. Issei, how about we have a date tomorrow? And this time I hope nothing happens, hehe. Rainier, okay, Baka. Issei, good. Rainier, shall we go in now? There's not much time left before the break is over. Issei, okay, 5 hours of boring classes later. Azazel, well, now that we're all here, let's begin. Rias, first of all, why are you sitting in my chair? Azazel, it's just that it's very comfortable. Rias, you're right, it's very comfortable. Azazel, anyway, as everyone knows, the Rias vs. Deodora Astero rating game is coming up. Issei, and what does that have to do with me? Azazel, well, I'm not so sure, but I think that in the rating game the Chaos Brigade will make its move, and that's why we'll have help from Heaven and the Norjica faction. Akeno, who are you referring to? Before anyone could say a single word, a light illuminated the entire place where Irina had emerged. Irina, hello everyone, Michael-sama sent me. Azazel, there is your answer. Irina, well, Michael-sama also sent me to study here to strengthen the alliance. Azazel, well, I think that's all. You can leave. The next day, East and Rainier would go on their date. East would take her to a luxurious restaurant he had made a reservation for. After dinner, they would go to an amusement park where they would ride all the rides, and finally, East would take her to a mountain overlooking the entire city. Rainier, she's beautiful. Issei, you're right. Rainier, I love you, Issei. Issei, I also love you. You are the most beautiful thing that could have happened to me. Issei and Rainier would be approaching each other until they kissed. Issei, well, it's getting very late. Shall we go home? Rainier, you're right. A while after walking towards their house, they bump into a certain silver-haired girl. Issei, hey, you were that girl who was with Odin. The girl turns around to see who was calling her. Rose, that's right, and you're the son of Hades-sama, aren't you? Issei, yes, and just tell me, Issei, does that sound good? Ross, okay, Issei, I didn't have the chance to introduce myself on that occasion. My name is Rosswise. Issei, nice to meet you, Rossjan, and tell me what you're doing here. Ross, well, what happened is that I was sent to strengthen the alliance and I got lost, hehe. Rainier, well, come join us. Ross, okay. A little while later, the three of them arrived at the mansion where they were living. Issei, okay, Ross, pick a room and get comfortable. Ross, thanks, Issei. Issei, it's nothing. Issei's thoughts, I don't know why I have a feeling I'll have to remodel the house later on. Issei, anyway, he's going to take a shower. A while later, Issei would finish showering. Issei, that was relaxing. Suddenly, a breach opens in his room from which Hades, Sasha, and Pandora emerge. Issei, father, end of chapter. Chapter 11, visiting the current Athena. Issei, father, Hades, hello son, how have you been? Issei, no, also because of certain people who live with me. Hades, I figured as much. Sasha, well, let's get to what we really came for, love. Hades, oh well son, the reason for my visit is to inform you that in 2 days we will be going to Greece. Issei, Greece, and for Hades, you know the countless battles I've had with Athena, don't you? Issei, don't tell me you plan to start another holy war. Hades, no, on the contrary, I want to make peace with her. Issei, that makes me happy, but I don't understand what all this has to do with anything, man. Sasha, it's simple, we'll go as a family, it'll be like a vacation. Issei, okay, but what will happen to the academy? Pandora, don't worry about that, it's all sorted out. At that moment, Rainier would enter the room. Rainier, honey, stop now. She stopped when she saw the people gathered there. Rainier, hello, mother, father. Hello, daughter. Rainier, I think I'm interrupting something. Sasha, no, actually, we're already finished, don't worry. The three of them leave just as they came, but without Sasha saying anything. Sasha, oh, don't forget to bring Rainier with you. See you later. Issei, okay, 2 days later. We see how our Chestnut Tree's family says goodbye to everyone. Azazel, try to water for the raiding game against Deodora, remember it's next week. Issei, don't worry, I'll be here by then entering the portal. In Greece, Issei's family could be seen coming out of a portal. Hades, I haven't been here for a long time. Issei, this place is amazing. Sasha, it brings back memories remembering her former friends. Rainier, I've never been here. Before anyone could say anything, they were surrounded by several gentlemen. Knight X, who are you? This place is forbidden. Knight 2, only the chosen ones can enter. Hades, there is no need to shed blood. Knight X, don't make fun, he goes out to attack Hades. The knight was getting closer until he heard a voice that stopped him. Reiki, you all stop, they are guests of Layla-sama. Gentlemen, we are sorry, Rakasama. The gentlemen leave the place. Reiki, it's a pleasure, my name is Reiki, I am the current saint of Ares. Hades, Ares, the first house. Sasha, nice to meet you, my name is Sasha. East, hello, I'm Issei. Rainier and I, Rainier. Reiki, it's a pleasure to meet you all, follow me, I'm in charge of taking you to Layla-sama. They simply nod and follow her, a rare after. Reiki and the others were standing in front of a door and Reiki touched it. Reiki, Layla-sama, our guests have arrived. On the other side. Layla, okay, let them in. Reiki, as you wish, the doors open, revealing those already mentioned. Layla, Hades, Athena has been through a lot. Layla, yes, and well, accompany me. She leads them to a room where they sit down. Layla, so Hades, what did you want to tell me? Hades, I'll get straight to the point, I want to end the holy war. This surprised Layla as she never thought that Hades himself would want to end the war. Layla, and what made you change your mind? Hades, you see, during our last war something happened to me that made me change. Layla, and that would be it. Hades, well, it was love. Layla, I never thought you, Hades, would fall in love. Hades, well, believe it, she's my wife, pointing at Sasha. Hades, and he is my son, along with his girlfriend, pointing at Issei and Rainier. Layla, I'm surprised, I never thought you would start a family, much less with my previous reincarnation. Hades, you never know what fate has in store for you. Layla, that's right, Hades, and you accept. Layla, of course, from today the holy war ends. Hades, very well, and I've asked a favor. Layla, which? Hades, you see there were some problems and I was wondering if we could stay here for a family vacation since I want to spend time with my family. Layla, I don't see the problem, they can stay. Hades, thank you and be careful. Layla, what about Hades? Well, I did it with the factions and they have an enemy, the Cause Brigade. Layla, I've heard rumors about that group but I never believed they were real. Hades, yes, but I have a feeling they're up to something and not something good. Layla, I'll keep that in mind. Hades and the others leave the place, leaving Layla deep in thought. Layla, if what Hades told me is true, they're plotting something very serious. I'll have to talk to Poseidon and Zeus, I feel like this involves us. Once Issei and his family left the Temple of Athena, they went to various places where Issei and Rainier were amazed by the places since they had never left Kuoh. The week had already passed and now Issei and Rainier were back in Kuoh while his parents decided to stay there a little longer. Issei, I never thought that my mother along with my Aunt Pandora would manage to convince Dad to stay a few more days. Rainier, I saw it coming. Issei, yes, but I also wanted to stay longer. Rainier, you're right, darling. Issei, well, let's see what awaits the Gremories. Rainier, that's fine, they headed to the occult club since everyone was gathered there. Issei, hello everyone. Everyone, hello, Azazel, so they're back. Issei, yes, just as I said. Rias, okay guys, we should go. Thus all members were teleported to the game location. Issei, alright Azazel, what do we have to do? Azazel, well, the truth is that they are going to face one of the members of the Cow's Brigade. Issei, oh, so all this raiding game stuff is just a facade. Azazel, exactly, we believe that Deodora is associated with them. Rias' group, once they arrived at the combat zone, were preparing to devise a strategy but were interrupted. Deodora, ha, just as planned. Rias, what are you talking about? Deodora, from this makes soldiers of the Chaos Brigade appear. Rias, this issue was interrupted by an attack. The attack hit the ground causing a smokescreen that blinded everyone in the Gremory group. Once the smoke cleared, they noticed that Asia was unconscious and in Deodora's arms. Deodora, it works well. Zenobia, let her go, you wretch. Deodora, if you want to get her back, come get her at the castle over there, pointing to a castle that was in the area. Isami launched an attack on Deodora, but he disappeared through a portal with Asia in his arms. Isami, Asiya, end of chapter. Chapter 12, rescuing the nun. Isami, Asiya. Rias, don't worry, Isami will get her back. Deodora, you'll pay for this, Rias thought to herself. Akeno, what do we do, Rias? Rias, go through Asia. Thus the Gremory group ventured deeper into the castle to save their companion. Outside the dimension/occult club, Issei, so that idiot is with the Chaos Brigade. Azazel, yes, that's what your girlfriend Valerie told me. Issei, and you want me to save them, don't you? Azazel, well, if you want, besides, a large army is waiting for you. Rainer, what else can we do but save their butts? Azazel, well, I'll leave it to you. I suppose Roswace and Irina must already be there, so go. Issei, okay. Azazel creates a magic circle and teleports the aforementioned individuals to the battlefield. Upon arrival, they are surrounded by several soldiers. Issei, this got interesting. Rainer, yes, love, soldier, who they are, but it doesn't matter, they'll die anyway. Rainer. Silence, throwing a spear of light at his head. Soldier 1, damn it, attack. All the soldiers rush at the two, but Issei takes out his gauntlet and enhances it. Bost, 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 bost. Issei, dragon shot. A torrent of energy would burst from the gauntlet and all the soldiers would be disintegrated. Issei, okay, let's continue. Rainer would simply nod her head and they would both start walking. Issei, I sense several enemies on this list. Rainer, yes, darling. Issei, okay, you can leave now. More soldiers come out from one side and begin to attack the couple. Rainer, these soldiers are annoying, throwing several light spears towards the soldiers. Issei, yes, disintegrating several soldiers with the Gremory group. They were inside the castle, but they came across several paths. Issei, and now President, before anyone could say anything, a voice was heard throughout the hallway. What a turn they've come up with, but I'm afraid this is as far as they've gone. Rias, where are you, Deodora? Deodora, hahaha, if you want to save Asia, you must first defeat all my servants, but I'll give you an advantage. One of the doors in front of you leads to where I am with Asia, so choose, hahaha. Zenobia, what do we do, Madam President? Rias, we must separate. Akeno, are you sure, Rias? This could be dangerous. Rias, yes, as one of the doors said, it leads to where she is. The only option is to separate. Akeno, okay, everyone will go through a different door. They would all leave through different doors, unaware of what awaited them on the other side. Akeno gate. Akeno was walking when she was attacked by several soldiers. Soldier, wow, what a beautiful girl. Mr. Deodora was certainly right when he told us we would encounter several beauties. Akeno, ara, you will be my entertainment, the girl said with an excited face. The soldiers rush to attack Akeno and then take her. She simply laughs and begins to expel rays from her hands, and the rays hit the soldiers and kill them instantly. Akeno, ara, don't tell me you got tired so quickly, the girl would say, still with her excited face. Wow, I didn't think I'd run into the lightning priestess, a voice would say. Note, I don't remember the names of the members of Deodora, so I'll make them up. Akeno, and you are, my name is Ural, I am the queen of Lord Deodora. Akeno, I see. Ural, I'd like to keep chatting with you, but unfortunately I have to finish you. Akeno would change, putting on her priestess outfit. Akeno, I'm ready. Ural, alright, let's begin getting into a fighting stance. They both charged at each other, kicking, punching, but above all casting magic spells. A few minutes passed and Akeno began to gain ground, or so she thought. Akeno, I believe this victory is mine. The girl would simply laugh slightly. They resumed their fight, but this time Akeno felt weaker and the Queen of Deodora took advantage of this to launch an attack that Akeno barely managed to dodge. Ural, where did that confidence from a moment ago go? Akeno, what's happening to me? Just moments ago she was weaker than me, it's like my strength has vanished, the girl thought to herself. They resumed their fight and Akeno was weaker than before, while Ural increased her strength as the battle progressed. Ural, hahaha, with this my victory is assured, the girl would say, laughing maniacally. Akeno, what are you talking about, the girl said, breathing heavily. Ural, hahaha, it's something you don't realize yet. They would fight again and the result was the same, with Akeno becoming increasingly weaker. Akeno, what happens every time you fight is that her strength increases along with her magic power. It's as if my strength and magic are being absorbed. They would start fighting again and Akeno would throw a beam at him to confirm something. The beam would hit Ural and be absorbed by a pendant that Ural had. Akeno, I see, so that's what it was. He has a pendant that absorbs strength and magic power. That's why my strength and magic were fading away. What I must do is destroy it. Akeno would launch herself against Ural again, and this time without her noticing, Akeno would break the pendant and feel all her strength and magical power returning to her body. Ural, haha, you call that an attack? Don't make me laugh. Akeno, if you haven't noticed, I've already discovered your secret. You used to wear this, didn't you, showing the pendant she used, now in pieces. Ural, damn it, the girl would say, trying to escape. But she couldn't because Akeno would throw a beam at her that would burn her and then she would disappear into particles. Akeno, wow, that was exhausting. I hope you and everyone else are okay, the girl said, starting to walk towards the exit of that room. At another doorway, Issei was with Kaneko, but they were intercepted by several hooded figures. Some scoundrels have entered this place. If we finish you off, we will receive a good reward. Kaneko will see about that. The hooded figures began to surround the two girls and at the same time started running in a single circle around them, leaving them confused. But it was too late as multiple attacks came from all directions without them noticing and they could do nothing and received the attacks head-on, which caused them to be thrown towards a wall. Issei, what was that, the girl would say, getting up. Kaneko, we were attacked from all sides, the girl would say in her monotone voice, standing up as well. I hope you are ready, servants of Rias Gremory. The two prepare for combat by preparing their best attacks. Kaneko her Nico side and Isami activating her magic. The hooded figures and the two of them launched themselves at each other, thus beginning their fight, but as the battle progressed, the hooded figures were losing ground and one by one they were disappearing into particles. Elsewhere was Zenovia, who was standing in front of a strange subject. So you're one of Rias Gremory's knights. Zenovia, that's right, and so are you. Where are my manners? My name is Yugi, I am one of Deodorasama's knights. Zenovia, and tell me, are you going to let me through? Yugi, I'm sorry, but that's not going to be possible. Both assume fighting stances, Zenovia summoning Durandal, Yugi summoning two swords. In that room, only the clash of swords can be heard. Metal against metal, swordsman against swordsman, knight against knight. Outside the castle elsewhere, a man with a large beard appears. Wow, that boy really showed off, and I see more soldiers have arrived looking at several soldiers in front of him. Ross-wise, Odin-sama wants me to take care of them, the albino would ask. Odin, no Ross, it's been a long time since I've had fun. The soldiers rush towards the two, but Odin takes out his staff and in this way creates a giant wave and throws it at the soldiers, killing them instantly. Odin, hahaha, I had forgotten how fun this was. Ross-wise, don't you think I'm exaggerating? Odin-sama, the girl said, shaking her head. Elsewhere, Isk and Rainier are seen heading towards the castle entrance. Rainier, I have a bad feeling, darling. Issei, I had that feeling too, love. Underworld Elysian Fields. Hades and Sasha stood before one of the other Olympian gods. Hades, what is it you desire here in my kingdom? Hades, Hades, you have disappointed me. I never thought that you who said that love was useless and now look at you married to one of the reincarnations of your enemy. What a disappointment. Sasha, what do you want here and why are you disturbing this silence? Nothing in particular, but tell me what you would do if something happened to your beloved son. Hades, touch a single hair of my only pride and then you will know my wrath. Ha 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 ha, I wonder what would happen if that anger were to awaken, but it's not time yet, Hades, I only came to say hello. The strange subject disappeared from the place. Hades, damned Ares, what are you planning? End of chapter. Chapter 13, near the end. Back with Issei and Rainier. They were both walking through the interior of the castle until they came across a door and proceeded to enter it, and once inside they found the bodies of the queen, the knight, and Deodora's pawns. Rainier, Issei, these are them. Issei, if the servants of that Deodora, it seems Rias and her group have become strong. Issei, but how strange, why do I sense a faint cosmos in these bodies? Issei would say in his thoughts. Rainier, are you okay, love? Issei, don't worry, this gives me a bad feeling, the brunette thought. Both would continue advancing, and as they advanced, more pieces of Deodora were found, and in the same way these gave off a slight cosmos, with Rias and her group. They had already defeated almost all the pieces and now stood before the last one. Once they defeated it, they could finally face Deodora directly and rescue their companion, the Asia family. But the problem was that this enemy was one well known to them, a mad priest who had caused them problems since the beginning of their adventure. Kiba freed Selsun because it doesn't surprise me. Freed, oh, we meet again, you bucking demons, but sadly this will be our last encounter. Kiba, President, go ahead, I'll take care of him. Rias, okay, I trust you, my knight. Zenovia, don't even think about losing, remember you still owe me a rematch of our fight. Kiba, yes. The blonde boy's other companions would continue on, leaving him alone to fight Freed. Kiba, well, we're alone now, let's finish this once and for all. Freed, as you wish. Freed would transform into a monster just like in the anime, surprising Kiba. Kiba would not flinch and would draw his sacred demonic sword. Kiba, alright monster, let's face off. Freed, this will be your end, you disgusting demon. They would both launch themselves at each other. Once they met, their swords would clash. With each thrust, only the sound of metal on metal impacting could be heard in that room. As the battle progressed, the first wounds appeared, but the most affected was Rias' knight. Freed, hahaha, where did your courage go, you dirty demon? Kiba didn't respond and they simply resumed their fight, and this time the blonde attacked with more skill, causing a few wounds to the mad priest. Their fight continued for a while until Kiba noticed a strange object hanging from the priest's neck. Kiba, what is that thing? It exudes immense power, the blonde boy said, dodging a slash from Freed. The fight resumed, and this time the blonde boy focused solely on destroying the strange object. Several more minutes passed, and the blonde boy finally found the perfect angle and destroyed the strange object. Once he did, a strange red energy emanated from the object, and this same energy also emanated from the area, leaving the boy wondering what that power could be. But again, his gaze focused on his opponent, and it seemed that having lost his power, he was reverting to his human form. Kiba took advantage of this, as this would be the only opportunity to finish off Freed once and for all. If he managed to escape again, there was no telling what might happen, so with a swift movement he decapitated him. Kiba, with this you will no longer be a threat. Once the blonde man finished with the priest, he ran off in the direction of his other companions, with Issei and Rainier. They were walking in the same direction as the Gremory group, but stopped when they saw a red energy that passed by their side. Issei, Cosmos, how strange, this is the same one that was felt in those bodies. Something is wrong, I must hurry, Issei would say in his thoughts. Rainier, what's wrong, Issei? Issei, I don't know, but we need to hurry. Rainier, yes. Both of them started running towards the Gremory group, and once they arrived they found the whole group injured and Asia chained to a cross. Deodora, but what do we have here? More filth that I must clean up. Issei would say nothing and summon his sword, and in a swift movement which Deodora could not see he would already have Asia freed and would hand her over to Rainier. Issei, get out of here. Rainier would understand since she also felt that cosmos, and without saying anything she would take the Gremory group and they would leave the castle. Once they left the castle she would run into Odin, Irina, Roswise, Azazel and the others. Roswise, and where is Icegun? Rainier stayed behind fighting Deodora. Before anyone could say anything else an explosion was heard and Issei emerged from it unharmed. Minutes earlier, once Rainier and the others left, Issei and Deodora were about to start their fight when someone else arrived at the scene and he too was emitting that cosmos. So you're the son of Hades. Issei, that's right, and you are. My name is Shava Belzebu, but unfortunately our fight will have to wait. I have only come to investigate one thing. Shava would kill Deodora in the same way he did in the anime, and Deodora would launch a burst of cosmos destroying the castle. Rias and Deodora. Issei. Issei, I'm dying. Rainier, you killed him. Love. Issei, no. Sirzechs, and then. Issei would tell them everything that happened with him and Deodora and about Shava's appearance. Everyone would be surprised since it seems that the old demon faction is allied with the Chaos Brigade. Before anyone could say anything, a strange being appeared, surprising everyone as it emitted a strange energy. Issei looked at it seriously since this being emitted the same cosmos as those previously mentioned, so he deduced that this being was also allied with the Chaos Brigade, or worse, it could be its leader. Sirzechs, who are you? So you are the current leaders and I imagine you are the son of Hades, isn't that right? Azazel, answer who you are. If you want to know so much, I'll tell you, my name is Ares, god of war. Issei, so you were the one who gave some of your cosmos to Deodora's group. Ares, hahaha indeed, although to be honest it was a waste of energy. Sirzechs, what? Issei, and what is it you desire? Ares, nothing special. Ares would lunge at the chestnut-haired man who would stop his blow. Issei, go away, I'll take care of this. Rias, but Issei, did you not hear me? Everyone present would leave the place, leaving only Issei and Ares. Ares, so you don't want them to see you die. Issei, it's not just that I don't want anyone to interrupt us. The chestnut-haired boy would summon his armor and launch himself against the god, and both would begin their fight, launching bursts of cosmos, fists, kicks. After a long time of combat, Issei was noticeably tired while Ares acted as if nothing had happened. Issei, breathing heavily, you're strong. Ares, thanks brat. They would resume their fight again, and again the chestnut-haired boy couldn't land a single blow, which frustrated him. Ares would launch an attack, and the chestnut-haired boy would launch another combined with a dragon shot. But it would be useless since Ares' attack would be superior and would destroy the chestnut-haired boy's attack and in turn impact him, which would create a smokescreen and a large crater. With the leaders. They were in another place, but Rainier was distressed because she felt as if something bad was going to happen to her beloved chestnut-haired boy, so unable to bear it any longer, she took out her wings and headed towards the place of the battle. Issei, where are you going? Rainier, I'm going with my boyfriend, he needs me. Rias will accompany you. Rainier, no. Rias, it's not up for discussion, we'll go. Sirzechs, no. Rias, it's dangerous, don't go. Rias, but brother. Sirzechs, that's my final word. Rias, okay, Rias would say resignedly. Rainier would fly off in the direction of Issei. Rainier, don't worry my Issei, I'm coming for you. Back with Issei. Issei was lying wounded on the ground of the crater with Ares looking at him. Ares, you are disappointing and pathetic. Before the god did anything, the voice of a worried girl would be heard. Rainier, Issei, Ares, jump, I'd better get out of here. Rainier, what did you do to him, you bastard? The dark-haired woman said while holding the boy in her lap. Ares, well, just tell him when he wakes up to come back stronger, the god said, disappearing from the place. Several hours later, Issei is seen lying down in a room of the Gremory mansion with Rainier by his side. Azazel like this. Rainier, I don't know, she hasn't woken up yet. Azazel, I never thought a god would be allied with the Chaos Brigade, this has gone to another level. Rainier, yes, battle site. There was someone in the field where Issei and Ares faced off and apparently this person was hooded. So Ares won it, the subject would say, picking up a fragment of Issei's glove. This will do, the subject said, leaving the place. End of chapter. Chapter 14, Saving the Gremory and Season Finale. The days passed and the chestnut-haired boy still hadn't woken up from his battle against the god Ares, and this worried his girlfriend and his parents. 2 days later, Issei is seen lying in the same room, still unconscious, with Rainier hugging him tightly. Rainier, Issei, wake up please, I need you. Meanwhile, outside the room were the members of the Gremory clan and Azazel who were waiting for the chestnut-haired boy to wake up. Issei, brother, wake up, the girl would say in her thoughts. In the chestnut-haired man's subconscious, he was talking to Drake about what had happened 2 days ago. Drake, you were easily defeated, mate. Issei, I know I didn't even use my full power. Drake, I don't know, but something about that Ares guy seems strange to me. Issei, what do you mean, Drake? I'm not sure, but I have a bad feeling. Issei, I have it too, Drake, you'd better go back, your girlfriend is worried about you, as are the traitors. Issei, that's right, Rachel must be very worried after all this time we've been talking, friend. Drake, 2 days. Issei, don't make things up. 2 days and why didn't you tell me? Drag, you never asked me. Issei, that's right, see you later, friend, I'll visit you. The chestnut-tired boy disappeared from the sight of the enormous dragon and went to sleep, while in the real world the boy slowly opened his eyes and this was noticed by the black-haired girl who rushed towards Issei sobbing with happiness. Rainier, Issei my love, you woke up, what a joy. Issei, Rachin, where are we? Rainier, relax, we're in the Gremory mansion. Issei, I see. Rainier, I was so worried I thought I was going to lose you again. Issei, he would approach and give her a hug. I will never leave you alone my love, never doubt that. The girl would blush at what her boyfriend said and simply give him a loving kiss. They both left the room and the first to react was Isami who threw herself towards Issei with the intention of hugging him, but he simply stepped aside, letting Isami crash into a wall. When she got up she approached Issei but he and Rainier left the place leaving the girl sadly. Isami, I see you'll never forgive me Issei my dear brother. Rias, don't worry, everything will be alright. Days later. Everything seemed to have returned to normal except that somewhere unknown Ares was talking to the same hooded figure who had picked up the fragment of the booster gear. And now what, sir? Ares, we just need one more test subject and with that we'll get the energy we need, hahaha. Well, I'll take care of finding it. Ares, no, I already have the subject. Who is sir? Ares, Rias Gremory. The younger sister of Mao Lucifer. Ares, yes, with this I will get him to face Hades' son and they will kill each other. I see. Ares, besides the girl is in love with Hades' son. Oh, that makes things easier, there's just one small detail left. Ares, which, Razor Phoenix her husband. Ares, I'll take care of that, you just focus on making sure the girl kills herself with Hades' son and that will destroy the alliance. Good that it is so. The days went by and everything seemed to be completely calm, except that Rias was in the occult club building signing some documents and she appeared to be alone. Rias. This is boring, I just wish Issei would forgive me and who knows, maybe divorce Razor, but unfortunately that dream will never come true all because of my foolishness. Suddenly the door is opened and a certain chestnut-tired man enters, approaching Rias, who becomes nervous when she is so close to him. And Issei F will be fake Issei. Issei F, I came for you my pretty redhead. Rias, what things you say Issei, what will Rainier say? Issei F, I don't care about her, the only one I want is you Rias. The girl wouldn't know what to say and would simply blush and unconsciously go to hug the brunette. Issei F, perfect, it was easier than I thought. Outside the club. Issei and Rainier were heading towards the club because the last time they were there when Rias faced Deodora they had forgotten a notebook. Upon entering, they encountered Gasper, who was looking at Issei with great fear, as it seemed something had happened not long ago. Rainier, what's wrong, little vampire? Out of fear, Gasper would hide in his box and start trembling with fear because this idiot gets scared by everything. Rainier would take Gasper out of his box while he struggled to be left inside. Gasper, let me go, Rainier, it happens because you are scared. Gasper, Issei-senpai is bad, Issei, and what did I do now? Gasper tells him that Issei recently entered the club where Rias was, and his gaze reflected that he wasn't himself and was planning to do something bad. Upon hearing that, both Issei and Rainier ran towards the main hall, where Rias' office was supposedly located. When they arrived, they found Rias being hugged by Issei, who upon seeing them simply smiled maliciously and launched a destructive attack, destroying the entire club and alarming everyone still in the academy. Hours later, everyone was gathered at the mansion, including the leaders, Rias' parents, and Razor. Azazel, what you mean is that another you took Rias away? Issei, yes, Rainier, I saw him too, but that wasn't my Issei. Sirzechs, that doesn't matter, what matters is getting Rias back. Azazel, but the question is where could it be? Ajuka, all that remains is to track down his king piece. Sirzechs, well Ajuka good, the green-haired boy would disappear in a magic circle. Several hours later. Ajuka emerged from a magic circle, and it seems he managed to find the girl. Sirzechs, and what happened? We were lucky. Ajuka, yes, but interrupted by the redhead. Sirzechs, but what? Ajuka, unfortunately she is in the dimensional rift and it is impossible for one of us to survive in that place, only a god could. Everyone would be saddened to hear that their mistress, sister, daughter was in danger and the worst part was that no one could do anything until they remembered Issei, who was the son of Hades. But they didn't know if the brunette would want to help the redhead, so Sirzechs and Rias' parents approached the boy who was looking at his cell phone with boredom. Sirzechs, Issei-kun, Issei, I know what you're going to ask and my answer is I'm not interested in the redhead's life. Venelana, please, I beg you, save her, please. The girl said with tears in her eyes. Please, young man, I know that what my daughter did to you is unforgivable, but please save her. Sirzechs, young Issei, if you do this, I will be grateful to you. After thinking about it for several minutes, Issei was hesitant to do it. After all, she almost killed him, and if he let her die it would be like being even, but at the same time he would be grateful to her because if he had never been betrayed he would never have met his parents and the most important person to him, his girlfriend. Issei, I will, Venelana, thank you so much, young man, I will be forever grateful. Issei, I'll only do it on one condition. Sirzechs, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Issei, fine, I want all members of Rias' entourage to live. Irina, with the exception of Roswace, Valerie, and Offis, leave the house. That's my condition. Zeoticus, agreed, young man, anything for my daughter. Venelana, I don't know how Rias could let a nice guy like you slip by. Too bad for her, you're lucky. Rainier. Rainier, hehe, yes, he's the best. Issei would go to talk to Offis so that she would take him to the dimensional rift, and she would agree only because it is her Issei. Once he arrived, he would start looking for her, and once he found her, she would put on the fake armor and they would begin the fight. Drake, I sense a bit of cosmos in her, partner. Issei, I notice it too, it's the same as Ares, damn it, dodging an attack from Rias. This is getting interesting. Issei would launch himself at Rias and they would begin to fight. They could only watch as the energies of both collided and at the same time produce strong energy waves that altered the dimension. Issei, shit, if this continues she will die. Drake, what will you do, mate? Issei, I don't know, I should knock her out, what do you suggest? Drake, to fight, use your armor combined with my energy. Issei, if there's no other way. Issei would summon the armor his father gave him and combine it with Drake's power. And again he would launch himself against the girl, and this time the difference was abysmal. Rias couldn't even touch Issei because Issei is stronger than her, and even with the little cosmos that Ares gave her it didn't work. Rias would let out a loud scream and expel a bit of cosmos from her body, combining it with the energy of destruction and launching it at Issei, who would deflect it with one hand as if it were nothing. Issei, that's all. The chestnut-haired man would launch himself again at Rias, who did not react in time, and all her armor was completely destroyed, leaving her naked, and she apparently came to her senses. Rias, Issei, what happened? Where are we? Issei, calm down, it's all over. Rias, thank you so much for saving me. Issei, I don't care, let's go back. Issei would open a portal through which they crossed. Once they both returned, Rias' family would hug her and Issei would rush towards Rainier and give her a kiss. Issei, I hope they keep their word. Issei and Rainier would disappear from the place, leaving everyone and Rias confused. Rias, what do you mean Onasama? Sirzechs, well that was the deal. Minutes later, Rias is seen crying and being comforted by her mother while the others do the same. Rias, because they did it that way I'll never have the chance to be with him. Sirzechs, Rias will be honest with you, Issei-kun doesn't want anything to do with you. Rias, but brother. Zeoticus, from today you will no longer live in the house of young Issei, and that is an order. The resigned girls would simply form a magic circle in the direction of the mansion, and once they arrived, each one would go to her respective room to pack her belongings. 1 hour later. All the girls who were no longer going to live there would leave, leaving Issei and Rainier alone. Roswise was not there because Odin had called her to Asgard. Valerie and Offis were with the Chaos Brigade, so it was just the two of them. Rainier would enter and head to the kitchen to prepare something to eat. After they both finished eating, they would go to the living room where they were watching a movie. They would approach each other and share a kiss full of love. Several minutes passed and they separated for lack of air, but they resumed the kiss, and unlike the others, this one contained lust. Issei would carry Rainier like a princess and they would go up to his room. Once they were out of the room, they would break apart from the kiss, breathing heavily and both blushing since this was their first time doing this. Issei, are you sure you want to do it, love? Rainier, yes, very sure. They would both resume that lustful kiss. Lemon skipped. 2 days have passed since Issei and Rainier had their first time together and they have grown closer. Meanwhile, the Gremory group since leaving Issei's house have tried to get him to forgive them, but nothing works because Issei doesn't care what they do or don't do. Elsewhere in a cave, Ares was talking to someone who appeared to have been sealed away for a long time. When will I be able to leave this place, Ares? Ares, very soon, sir, once we gather what we need. What do they need to be free? Ares, let's recap. We have Offis's power. That girl thinks we helped her get her silenced, so it was easy to gather her power. Great Red's power was difficult, but thanks to the recent fight of those children, we gathered it. The power of 2 gods was easy since Hades' son has enough. But what we lack is the energy of the Yakai Yasaka and her sister Ahiri, and finally, the most important one, the energy of Trihexa. I see that my release is not far off. Ares, that's right, sir. Far away from those caves, in a huge castle, there was a woman, so beautiful that she would make any man who saw her fall, for she had an incomparable beauty who was looking into nothingness, and next to her was a small girl clinging to her leg. What's wrong, Mom? I just have a bad feeling, my daughter. End of chapter.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.